Hi everybody, it's Patrick for Polygon.com, and welcome to Please Retweet. I've got a very special guest with me today. It's Nick Robinson.
Hello.
Hi, Nick.
Hey.
So what we do on the show, Nick, is we take this really good picture of Toad that I made a couple months ago, and we try to get Nintendo to retweet it. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a look at last week's tweet and see maybe what went wrong there, because they haven't retweeted us yet.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and scroll onto my Twitter page and take a look at that image. So here's last week's tweet. I tried to go for an emotional appeal. I showed them a picture of my grandpa,
Right.
who I said loved Toad.
And did it work?
They didn't retweet it yet.
Okay.
So do you have any insight on maybe what would work?
Yeah, I think right off the bat, there's a few sort of just general engagement tips. I follow Nintendo's social media really closely,
Sure.
and one thing that I've sort of noticed is that all of Nintendo's social media operations are run from within their Redwood City offices, which is in the Bay Area,
Sure.
in California. So right off the bat, there's a big time zone difference between here in New York and there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would factor that in. I noticed that they tend to be most generous with their Twitter interactions. Usually in the late afternoon, after they've had lunch.
Mhm.
I think they get a little full and they feel a little more generous with their favorites and their likes. So I would think usually in the late afternoon, somewhere between the hours of like 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock, slightly closer to 4 usually, is when you have the highest odds of getting interaction from the Nintendo America account.
So let's go ahead and get our tweet started. One of the things that I was really excited about, in addition to that insight that you just provided, one of the things I was really excited to have you here for is that we can like collaborate a little bit. We can workshop this tweet a bit. So let's go ahead and grab our Toad.
Okay.
No, you just got bigger.
Is this the same image you use every time?
Yeah.
So you're re-uploading this whole thing every time because it's very high quality.
It's. I'll just get out of it.
Yeah. Exit.
There we go. We got it. No, hang on. Okay, so what we're gonna do always is drag Toad to the Twitter client, and we're gonna mention Nintendo. Get them in here. So I'm thinking I'll take the first draft of this tweet, and then I'll let you do the other one. And you're sort of an influencer, and I just got my verification on Twitter.
Oh,
so
congratulations!
Thank you. We're gonna try to sort of like leverage like a sort of like brand influencer type of thing. So I'm gonna
That's a good idea.
Boy, howdy, am I glad to have my blue check mark. I bet my fans online would love to see this Toad retweeted. Got a little bit of a Nintendo pop-up in the way there, but it's okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna hand this off to you and see like how you can punch it up for me a bit.
Sure. So right off the bat, you want to make sure that all of your followers can see this. You're going to actually put a second @ symbol in front of the first one.
Shit.
That way your followers see it and you get sort of the double engagement.
Yeah.
I think you have 9 extra characters here, and something I like to do is use ellipses just to fill up every character. That way you're maximizing the space that the tweet takes up in their timeline and in their mentions.
Okay.
Yeah, and let's see what else we can add. Because I do want to make room to add some stuff that's like very influencer driven. So instead of blue check mark, if we update that to BCM, change that is here. If you could have, it would be helpful to, because of the way that Twitter displays images, I think it would be good to use all 4 of the image slots, because Twitter actually lets you upload up to 4 separate images.
So will that push us up in the SEO rankings?
I think it'll help in terms of the amount of time they have to spend on your tweet, because they're going to look at all 4.
Gotcha.
And every second counts when you're trying to get someone to consider a retweet.
This looks good.
I'm going to pass it back to you.
Thanks.
See what you want to add.
I like this a lot. I think what I'm going to do to punch it up a little bit is add a little more influencer language to it. I think I'm going to change glad to stoked. I bet my... What's a cooler word for fans?
You could do fans, followers, but at a certain point, and you don't do this today, but at a certain point you should have a special word that you use for your followers.
Okay.
Like the Pat Army. You could do that now actually and get that started. You could say the Pat Army.
Okay. Great. No, this looks good so far. And the last thing I'm going to do that I've seen sort of really blowing up on Twitter is I'm going to throw some emojis on here.
I think that's a great idea.
The emoji button Nick, why isn't the emoji button working?
You gotta hold it down.
There we go. There we go.
Good.
That's good. I think we got it. Do you want to do one more draft?
I'd like to do one more pass on it
Okay.
just to make sure it's perfect. Part of it is the whole component of it being like Toad, and you're uploading these images every single week
Hell
to
yeah.
the cloud, and so I'm kind of tempted to just say, a military family online would love to see this mushroom cloud. And now, how many characters do we have left?
We got 0. That's exactly right. That's
Then I
exactly
think we're
right.
pretty much
Cool. All right. So I feel really good about this. So let's go ahead and hit send. Yo, so thank you so much for your help, Nick. And just check in next week, and we're going to let you know if Nintendo retweeted us.